Hello everyone, hope you all are doing good. My name is Mansha Hussain and these videos are brought to you by Mavio. So in this lecture, we would be going through large-scale simulation in health data science. So we have been hearing this word scalability and we also saw how it affects our softwares and applications. So how is there any service of any cloud, AWS, Azure or GCP that helps us with this huge amount of data? For AWS we have AWS Batch for GCP we have life sciences. So depending upon your use case, you can use either of them. Slide 2. Why does scale matter? The simulation problem. The most simplest example for this can be weather forecast. One city, one forecast, our laptop can handle it. We can calculate, we can simply fetch the API. Every city, every hour, 10 climate scenarios. You need a supercomputer. Health simulations work exactly the same way. What we simulate in a health. Disease spread, treatment pathways, policies, interventions, resource allocations. Now, these are the things that need a lot of compute, and our laptops cannot handle this because they are made for simple tasks. Cloud computing 101 for health science. Need local machine and cloud. We need 100 simulations in parallel. Local machine is sequential, it's gonna do one by one, whereas the cloud, it can do all of them at once. Store 500 GB of output data, runs out of disk. 500 GB is a lot. We do have 1 terabyte nowadays, but still not everybody, not every home-based laptop can deal with this. And then for cloud, we have object storage, right? We just read that it's infinite. Need specialized hardware, GPU, RAM, fixed, expensive. You have to buy a new laptop because your current GPU and RAM cannot support so much computation. On whereas on cloud, it's on demand and pay per use. The restaurant kitchen analogy, your laptop, one chef cooking every dish one at a time. Cloud compute 500 chefs in parallel compute, each cooking one dish simultaneously. You only pay for the chefs you actually use. AWS Batch the architecture, job definition, compute environment, job queue, and the job. The blueprint container image in which you are going to tell your application what is it all about. You have to containerize it, each and every package. Then you have to tell you about a CPU, RAM, and requirements, command to run. Compute environment, EC2 instance is another AWS service. So it is basically a whole server, a whole living server. So you have complete infrastructure power over it. AWS auto spins up and tears down. If the requirement is more than the server has, it will multiply itself automatically. And if it is not required as much, it will scale down. Traffic job queue, traffic controller routes job to the right compute environment in order. The job, the actual simulation run when you submit, each with its own parameter and speed. Typical workflow on AWS Batch, upload model code, Docker image on ECR, Elastic container repository, define job, submit 1,000 jobs with different parameters. Results are written in S3, aggregate, analyze in Notebook. So this is a typical workflow. For GCP Health Sciences, Life Sciences, Cloud Batch plus Genomics API. So this also tells us about when to use what. It is completely on your preference, okay, how you have to deal with data. One isn't better than the other. If you're already in one ecosystem, you do not have to jump to another. Whatever works for you, use that. Like if you have like the VCF format and a fast queue or genomic, you can go to GCP. But I'm sure for the same thing, AWS Batch would also have these things. But since you are integrated in the Google environment, Google ecosystem, you can just simply go with life sciences. Building health simulation. So this is a small example just to show you how the typical workflow looks like. We did that previously and now we are just doing it in a level up. So step 1, simulation script, generate cohort seed, apply screening policy, and then containerize. You know about Docker is used for containerization. So self-contained, the package your environment so it can run anywhere on the, since we need this to run on an actual server. Submit 600 job, aggregate results. So this is a very raw workflow for the batch. spots, and practical constraints. On demand, this would take you $80 to $250. And we are doing a spot instance, it is much cheaper. Spot is standby set, standby seat. Cheaper, but you might get bumped with 2 minute notice. Save checkpoints every 30 minutes. You only lose the last 30 minutes, not everything. Okay. Practical constraints to know data residency. Patients' data may not legally leave a jurisdiction. Verify before pushing to cloud regions. IAM roles. Least privilege access. Your simulation job shouldn't have admit rights to your whole account. Again, the authentication part, there are different roles for different people. Timeouts. Set max job duration so a hung job doesn't run forever and drain your budget silently. This is the part with AWS related stuff. You have to put a check on your costs. Otherwise, if it will keep running, you will soon lose all your money. And it literally eats money. Policy evaluation simulation outputs into decision. Policy evaluation using simulation results to compare intervention options and recommend action with quantified uncertainty. Okay. So we have a couple of things in ICER, net benefit and PSA, incremental cost effectiveness ratio, cost per additional query gained across policies. Net benefit, which policy wins at different willingness to pay threshold, varies by healthcare system. PSA probabilistic sensitivity analysis, what percentage of simulation prefer policy A over policy B. Okay, A/B testing for public health. You can't ethically randomize a million people to bad policies, you simulate first. Health equity application. The equity problem. Population level averages high disparities. A screening policy may look cost effective on average but fail specific subgroups systematically. Biannual screening at 90% reduces complication 36% nationally, but only 18% in uninsured insured rural population. This disparity is only visible at scale. You need enough simulation runs per subgroup for stable estimates. So this is telling us about the applications of running in batch. Okay, you running in AWS batch. You have to perform these things on a large scale to know what is their actual cost. And some things would perform differently on a small scale than on a large scale. And with health data and all these sort of things, you cannot wager this. You cannot bet on it, okay, let's just let it go. So you have to make sure you're not making any mistakes. And since you cannot run this locally, you have to perform a large scale simulation. Equity metrics to report absolute risk difference, report across subgroups, not just relative risk, which can be misleading at different baseline rates. Concentration index measure income related inequality in health outcomes, a single number summarizing the gradient. Counterfactual equality, what outcomes if everyone had equal access. Compare actual versus ideal distribution. An intervention that improves average but widens disparity gaps may fail ethical review. And this is related to an end-to-end pipeline and summary for it. I have attached since you do need large amount of data, this has also been converted into mock and I've used an example for it so we can show you how this actually works. But yet again, you won't need it as much until unless you have large amount of data. But you should be able to know explain why large scale health systems require cloud infrastructure, describe AWS batch and GCP life sciences job execution model, design a parameter sweep for policy evaluation simulation, interpret simulation outputs through health equity lens. So at the end of this video, you will have a document that gives all the code necessary to run this on cloud with the mock data and actually show you how this pipeline gets in production. So thank you so much for watching. See you guys.